season's grit and grind have led to this. 2 determined teams, 1 coveted crown.
Every play, every snap, give me all you got for 60 minutes. Let's go to work.
Boise State has their eyes fixed on back-to-back championship titles. Led by the relentless Ashton Jeanty.
Spinning into the end zone, my goodness!
Can the Heisman hopeful propel the Broncos to ultimate triumph?
UNLV at the top of their game.
Meanwhile, UNLV seeks redemption, fueled by grit and hunger.
Drives in, touchdown, UNLV!
Firing on all cylinders.
The Rebels look to play spoiler and rewrite last season's ending.
Look at it go! Serious!
The top 2 teams in the Mountain
It
West.
is going to be a fight.
A rematch with everything on the line. The Mountain West Championship is next on Fox.
Welcome to the 2024 Mountain West Championship on Fox. Sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? Since they installed this blue turf in Boise, Idaho, the Broncos have won 211 times on it. 82+% of the time. It's the biggest game in the history of this stadium, this turf. And all of these people are here to see it. Jason Benetti, Brock Eward, Allison Williams downstairs. The 12-team college football playoff has opened up opportunity in so many outposts in this country to make the postseason in terms of the college football playoff. Both of these teams have a very distinct chance. Basically, win and you're in tonight.
It's not often that we get to sit in this booth and say everything's on the line. Everything's on the line. The Heisman's on the line. The conference championship's on the line. Yeah, and a playoff spot for both of these teams. And in this community that's seen such great football that you referenced, this is the biggest game ever. And nobody is afraid to say that. There's no hyperbole there. Like, this is the biggest game in this program's history, and you can say the same for the other side as well.
And one of the best players Boise State has ever had is their running back, Ashton Jeanty, college football's all-terrain vehicle.
He is so special. You listen to the Big Noon Kickoff guys just rave about his physical skills, and he's got all of them. But what I love is that he elevates his teammates, the greatest of players, Jason. It's not just their physical talent, and he's got all of them. The power, the strength, we'll talk about it all night long. But the minute he touches the ball, everybody in this building and everybody on that field knows he's the most dynamic dude there is.
Boise State here at home taking on a UNLV team that's resurgent once again. Let's meet the Rebels. Here comes Buster leading the Broncos. And he's carrying a sledgehammer while he is a sledgehammer. Ashton Jeanty breaks tackles like no other in college football. And with a win tonight, those Broncos very likely will get a bye in the college football playoff. We'll take it a break with our game countdown sponsored by Progressive as 20th ranked UNLV battles 10th ranked Boise State in the 2024 Mountain West Championship game. Kickoff is coming up next. Welcome back to the 2024 Mountain West Championship on Fox, sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? They call it the inversion, which keeps the cold right on top of you, though they're not feeling it. It is a 23-degree wind chill. Allison Williams is in the middle of it. Hi, Allison.
Hey there, JB. I'm ready to take on this cold, and the UNLV defense is ready to take on Broncos running back Ashton Jeanty. They know what they're up against. This is the 3rd time they'll face him in the last 12 months, but the last time these 2 teams squared off in October, the Rebels defense did about as much as you can ask against Jeanty. They made him earn it. He had his lowest yards per carry average of the season at 3.8, and he didn't have a run over 20 yards. UNLV coaches told us our guys know what's required to get him on the ground. Head coach Barry Odom said our guys respect him and what he's been able to do, but they're not in all of it. Linebacker Jackson Woodard said it is fun to face an elite player like Jeanty, and when you do, it's about playing sound defense, knowing your gaps, doing your 111, and when you do get a hold of him, do not let go.
thought that was insightful from Barry Odom, what Allison just said. Like, they felt it before, how it is to tackle them, especially Ashton Jeanty.
I think it's kind of like facing Jason in this other sport you call, and that's just, you know, an elite pitcher. You feel his stuff. Spencer Danielson knows what his guy's capable of. That's why they, too, on that sideline have tremendous confidence. They know their stuff's good enough. UNLV feels like their stuff is good enough. Now let's go hit.
Win this game, and your future is very, very, very likely for both teams in the college football playoff. Boise State and UNLV for the Mountain West title. Here we go from the blue turf in the Treasure Valley of Idaho. D'Angelo Irvin Jr. on the return. It's a great special teams group for UNLV, and they'll have the ball first as Boise State deferred. You mentioned Malik Williams off the top. He wasn't the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year, but when he took over, they took off.
Yeah, and in fact, when Barry Odom announced that he was making the change, the building erupted. Like, this was the guy that many of them around the building felt like, man, he had earned it. 5 years grinding out there at Campbell University to seize this opportunity, and he is not letting go of it.
From Buies Creek, North Carolina, to a play-in game essentially in the college football playoff. Play clock was down to 1, and there he goes. Malik Williams on the run and dominating with a drive of the legs into Zion Washington. They struggled to tackle him in the first meeting behind this offensive line for the Rebels.
Yeah, a very talented on the edges, an all-conference player, but the communicators right in the middle in Jack Haas. Lots of speed outside. Ricky White, they'll get the ball to in a number of different ways.
He is their leading receiver. Back-to-back 1,000-yard years for him. Malik Williams on the throw, and he's got DeJesus on the catch, the senior transfer from Modesto Junior College. This defense, you talked about the ends during Big Noon.
Yeah, they need to keep everything as much as they can bottled inside. They're great sackers as well. Oladipo will play that dime linebacker spot, and McCoy will travel with White wherever he goes.
This is called the go-go offense because of the back placement in part. And here is Jet Thomas, one of those tailbacks, into plus territory.
It's called go-go as well because their tempo, their formations, their personnel, it is on the move, constantly challenging really that eye discipline and the communication of defenses.
It looks like UNLV feels like tempo is their friend tonight. Malik Williams on the roll. He'll drop it off. That's the first catch for Ricky White, the third. And he clangs off a body to create some more yardage, including Oladipo. It's third down. He has been so key for them, not only offensively, but on special teams.
Yes, special teams player of the year in the conference. You see the amount of production. It's only him and T-Mac the last couple of years. And nearly 50% of their receptions go to him. Astounding.
Odd movement at the line, and a penalty marker coming in. Christian Watson, our referee tonight, has the first call.
False start. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. Nice third down.
Yeah, and those were the little mistakes that bit them in the first matchup. There was a unsportsmanlike, there was a hold, there was just something when they got some of that go-go momentum that just set them back. And you can't have it, not in this building. And you start to jump off sides, guess what? This Bronco Nation will get that much louder.
Third and 7. Williams with pressure coming. He is sacked. Rodney Robinson hit him low. Simpson went high. 6 of them in the first meeting. There's number 1 for the Broncos tonight.
Yeah, you're going to see it right here, right off of the edge. They don't mess around. They love to bring pressure on second and long, third and long situations. As a quarterback right there, Williams, got to know, avoid that huge negative play.
Boise State is second in the country in sacks per game, nearly 4 per game, as Cooper Jones has to fall on this. And the Broncos will have it when we come back. If you haven't seen Ashton Jeanty, you are in for an absolute treat. He is a nightmare to defend, and he's next. How good is Ashton Genty is the question we ask. Well, he's got more than 106 FBS teams on the ground. That's a good start, right? And then this is after contact, 1695. The other two are total rush yards. He does more after he's first touched than anybody else does total in the country. 28 rush touchdowns, more than 111 other FBS teams. You get the picture?
You guys do, and he gets everybody's single best shot every week.
They average about 7 yards a play, and Genty will try and make lemonade out of this, and he does, breaking a tackle across the 40-yard line. How do you tackle him, Brian?
One guy cannot do it. A great job here by Madsen, the quarterback, to go up and get it, and then, well, they welcome in Roger Carrion, the right guard, started the last couple games, injured most of the year. Rudolph, the center. They feel like in this matchup, it didn't happen 5 weeks ago, that those two men are going to create movement and push and let Genty get going, something that he had a hard time doing. He got hit so many times right at the line of scrimmage in this last matchup. Not that time.
Elad threw himself at the legs, couldn't make the first tackle, leading to 18 yards. And now the throw by Madsen. He's got Cameron Camper. He'll cut back inside and be just short of midfield. Look at Spencer Danielson on the sideline. He is amped. And Maddox Madsen, named after Las Vegas native Greg Maddox, hoping to take down UNLV, and he's been very efficient.
5'0", couple 100 pounds of nothing, a baseball family, hyper-competitive family, and the dude just wins. Dirk Cutter loves him, the longtime offensive coordinator, and he doesn't make many mistakes.
Look at the breadth at the line of scrimmage. Genty puts his foot in the ground and gets absolutely clobbered right at the line to gain by Antonio Doyle. Here is that reformatted offensive line, and the left side we know is very good.
You could see that. All conference members. Carrion is absolutely nasty. He loves to finish, and Rudolph, special, coming back from a torn bicep in the opener, said, nope, I'm going to come back this season, and by golly, he has. Lauder as well, a first-team all-conference member, second leading receiver. Yeah, this is not just the Ashton Genty show, though his solo act's pretty good.
It certainly is. Unbalanced line. They'll move both tight ends to the right. And this is going to be a sneak for Madsen. It was 4th and goal from the 1 that got the deciding touchdown in the first meeting for Boise State. This 3rd and 1 leads to us telling you about a UNLV defense that is upgraded from last year, including Doyle, the A&M transfer.
Yeah, he's a fifth-year player, so big and physical, and when he plays with tremendous motion, the guys feed off of him behind him. Woodard's the best defensive player in this conference. Back-to-back first-team all-conference player, came from Arkansas with the head coach Odom, and Catalan Chavis, very physical. Chavis, in fact, the most physical corner on the roster. Why he's starting.
On the roll, here's a throw. Madsen is complete to Prince Strong, who is a native of the Bahamas, playing a little down in temperature today. It's 2nd down.
You know what you see with Boise, and you've seen it really since Chris Peterson and others have been here, and I can just feel their presence. We talked to it with Spencer Danielson about that, just the history at the school. You know that Houston Nutt is watching, right? You know that Dan Hawkins is watching. You know that Chris Peterson, because they care, and it looks so much like it has over the last 30 years. Attention to detail and pretty darn buttoned up to start.
Opening drive for Boise State. Here is Genty, and he is swarmed behind the line. So a tackle for loss. They did that a handful of times in the first meeting, Brock.
Well, look at both of these linebackers. They are triggering right away. They're going to hit those gaps. They're not going to wait. You can see the line. They block down, and then those linebackers, boom. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. That is the kind of population that Barry Odom was talking about. You said, how do you tackle him? Not one guy's going to tackle him. But when McDuffie is there, when Woodard is there, when the whole crew comes calling, you can take him to the ground.
McDuffie had just come back from injury in the first meeting, and now he's reestablished himself. There's Woodard, the guy that followed Barry Odom here, and is their leader. 3rd and 7 for Boise State. Madsen, a lot of time over the middle, incomplete, dropped by Strawn. Would have been a first down. Catch and run possibility. Instead, it's 4th down.
Yeah, terrific protection. Right, unlike the other side where you saw a sack on 3rd down, Madsen's able to step up. The ball's a little bit loose, but that is right on his face, exactly where you're taught to throw it. Put it right on his face. And let's keep an eye on this, man. It is a cold, cold night. And don't think it doesn't play a role in throwing it and catching it.
They're going to roll away on the punt. James Ferguson Reynolds has it inside the 10. That was a catch for De Jesus. And UNLV will embark from the 9-yard line. No scores so far. Haj Malik Williams, a great story, leading this Rebels offense when we come back. Mountain West Championship on Fox, sponsored by Progressive Insurance, cars, homes, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and more. And by Old Trapper. What's your beef? Last season, Mountain West Championship game went to Boise State 44-20. Couple of UNLV turnovers helped. And this game has even more at stake. We're not the College Football Playoff Committee, so we can't officially say win and you're in. But that's pretty much the deal here tonight. Win and you're in.
Yeah, and for Boise, even more than that. A win and very likely a first-round bye in those playoffs.
Oh, a snap that just hit Haj Malik Williams, and UNLV will cover it up. So the loudness becomes an issue there for a moment. Christian Moore fell on top of it.
You know, we have seen this a couple times this year. I think also, Jason, the movement right there. Do you see that little subtle movement? Herbert Gums and Feely and these D tackles, they're veteran. They've been around the block, and they will move, sometimes on their own, without it even being called. I think that movement on top of the noise distracted Haas, the center.
Is that a legal move for you?
It is. They made it a point of emphasis, and then they didn't.
Second down and 11. And they will hand it off to Jesus. Finds a crease, lost the ball again. And UNLV is on it again. It's White this time at the bottom of the pile. So is the cold doing this, Brock?
No, the drop. The cold had nothing to do with the early snap, and that's a nice job of ripping at the football, but catching it, protecting it. Yes, Jason, there's no question when you're playing in the low 20s on a foggy, cold night. That attention to detail. And these are two teams that take care of the football as good as any in the country. Just 8 giveaways for both.
UNLV, as you saw, plus 14 turnover margin. 3rd and 2, they will run it and run into a wall. Jet Thomas drilled by Jaden Virgin Morgan, the first team All Mountain West defensive end.
This is a nice job by a bunch of people. We talked in that first sack about the pressure right at the point of attack. You see Hassanin come in. The shot they show you pre-snap and what they do post, very different. And that aggressiveness has paid dividends on those 2 third downs.
Allison said it in her initial report. They're going to make him earn it today, meaning Genty. Everybody's going to earn it in this weather, in this moment. Jones on the return, ushered out of bounds by Woodard, who does play on special teams, even though he's the best defensive player maybe in this game. Look at the Boise sideline, pumped up. They'll get it back next. Boise is an underrated, beautiful city in America, and this is a breathtaking scene right now with the lights out and the phones on. And we invite you to play today's Fox Super 6 free-to-play game. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a chance to win your share of $5,000 in cash prizes. 3 drives in. What do you make of this so far?
I think a little bit of nerves.
You have a vote, by the way. That was for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. I figured while they were lobbying you, I'd let you know. On first down, Maddox Madsen wants to launch down the middle. Got it there for Lauder, the tight end. A seam ball inside the 15 for 40.
Has Boise ever had good tight ends? I mean, it's just a staple, right? They produce and develop their linemen. Lauder's a guy that's their second leading receiver. You know what stands out? I'll tell you. Some of the calm and poise. I know the drop there by Strawn on third down was not key, but do you just see the calm, the cool, the composure? Maddox Madsen sets the tempo, and the rest of them respond.
We showed it to you off the top. Just 3 interceptions this year for Madsen. Genty with a stiff arm. And he'll try and turn upfield, and he kind of launches himself for a gain of 5. All right, your keys to the game seem repetitive. Why?
Well, because when we sat with Spencer Danielson yesterday, he said takeaways and explosives, and you can see a hold on that stretch play. And then we met a little later, Barry Odom, and the first words out of his mouth were takeaways and explosives. I mean, these two teams have played now 3 times in the last 12 months. They know each other. And they know on championship weekend how big those two metrics are. So are penalties. And that one was a big one there on the left guard. The veteran Dooley that hits his chest to set them back quite a ways.
Sixth-year offensive lineman. These guys have been together a while.
Love her belly sticking out of those guards.
You miss playing quarterback, don't you? 1st and 20. It's play action. Madsen will drop it off. Genty is met, and he is finished off. Baldwin came in to make the final touch. It was Grimes down low who got into his body.
Well, look at the job here at Tony Grimes, the transfer, 6'2", 190 pounds. This was a point of emphasis. UNLV in this game last year was undersized on the perimeter. So what did they do? They went out and got a bunch of transfers, 6'2", 6'3", 6'2", because they knew tackling with your corners on the perimeter is so important against Genty in this Boise State offense.
They built this UNLV team in part because they knew what Boise was going to have coming back as the dynastic program in the Mountain West. Genty again is Stonewall. Right up the middle there, McDuffie and Woodard were in, among others. It's 3rd down coming up, and this is an issue for Boise State against UNLV this year. It's been 3rd and long quite a bit.
Yeah, because these are the two best fronts in this conference, and not a surprise they're playing on championship weekend. This is a bunch of grown-ups on this side of the ball. Martinson is a veteran physical guy. Doyle, who blew that little power play up, is a physical guy, and then right behind him is the best defensive player in the conference in Woodard. This is a salty front seven.
Boise has been so good at getting to 3rd and short all year long. This is 3rd and 17 with a rush of 4, including Doyle. Madsen, end zone right on the money. It's a touchdown for Caples. That was a total bullseye. Looks like he's under.
Sure does. Looks like that ball was starting to move, and then he was able to get his elbow and his forearm underneath it and his body hitting first. What an absolute dart. I mean, that was an unbelievable throw for Madsen.
Named after Greg Maddox.
Well, what did he have? A little command?
Oh.
He put it exactly where he wanted to put it. When he throws this, he's not open. Caples is covered like a blanket. But like Maddox, he puts it right on the block for 6.
Boise up for grabs.
Mountain West Championship on Fox is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. You want full circle? Latrell Caples last year in summer workout popped his Achilles in that very same corner of that end zone, and it ended his season last year. He is back now for Boise State, and the Broncos have a touchdown, his 5th.
And the folks will tell you, he may be the 3rd leading receiver behind Camper and Lauder, but he's the alpha. And you could see it with that decision Madsen made to throw it to him. That was the epitome of trust. Wait till you see the window he threw that touchdown into.
Cannot wait. Dalmas on the kick. That might have gone out of bounds. Instead, it's Irvin on the return, and he will be drilled at the 26. All right, your clicker right here.
Well, a couple things here. Number one, Dirk Cutter loves bunch formation. They're about 25% of the time. Number two, wait till you see the corner route here. But more importantly, wait till you see the time of delivery right here.
Where's he throwing?
Is he throwing here? He's open. Nope. Is he throwing here? No, he's covered. No, he's going to throw to the only spot he's got open. Right there. He's totally covered. Jarvis Ware does his job, but he puts it with anticipation in the only spot you could hit that sucker for 6.
How do you make that throw?
You've done it so many times, and you trust. It only happens with trust with a capital T, your buddy on the other end to go get it.
Here comes a crowd in a big way. Haj Malik Williams breaking it down, and he gets served up on a platter for Ty Benefield.
This is pretty big time. We talk about these edges are going to be so key because the go-go offense loves to go attack it. They love a little bit of this option, and they actually have a puller in front there and more, but the extra defender, Benefield, sees it. He knows it. Some of the advantages of seeing this team 5 weeks ago is that when you're in the alley, you better go tackle.
Fourth negative play in 9 total for UNLV tonight. Williams, he'll catapult it downfield. That's incomplete. Jeremiah Irby on the coverage in front of Thompson. Really nice coverage.
Yeah, he gets his head around just in the nick of time. If Williams could put this out there another yard or two, he may have a shot. But because it's a little underthrown, and you can see the receiver's got to go back to it. Thompson reaches up, and the minute he does, Irby reacts to that body movement and is able to knock it away. Huge third down.
Got to get to the 37. You see the corners backing off for Boise State. Pressure coming from the secondary, and down he goes. Shea Oladipo had one in the first meeting. He's got one there.
Man, everybody is eating on the back end of this defense, right? You're going to see Oladipo here off the edge. The previous third down, Robinson was able to get home. They're outnumbering that box. You've got everybody in every gap, and right now UNLV is confused.
The best defensive back sack man in the country, Shea Oladipo, sets up this 4th and 18. Nichols boots it away, and Jones will wave it off, and this could be plus territory to set sail.
I think these Broncos know what's on the line, man.
You feel it? You know who else does? One of the greatest running backs of all time, Barry Sanders, who has the record for most yards in college football. Good luck tonight. He says, you know what? I'm going to say what my fans maybe could think here and just honor a good running back. Game knows game.
Yeah, and there is some Barry here now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, just that low center gravity, unbelievable contact balance. Maybe not quite as quick, because I don't know if any running back in the history of the game is quick like Barry Sanders, but his power extraordinary and his production off the charts.
322 is a long way to go, but he is exceptional as he'll trudge for 3.
But you'll see this. I mean, you will see 1 and 2 and 3 yard carries, especially in the first quarter, the second quarter. But there is a strong fundamental belief that those body blows eventually lead to the knockouts that he hits more than anybody else.
As Dad told him over and over again, be patient and be ready. And what a weapon for Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator, who's part of that lineage for Boise State. As Ben Ford is in the backfield, one of the wide receivers back there with Genty out for a play.
Pass blocking.
Somebody said pass blocking, and they did. Ford with the catch, 3rd and short coming up, and this is where Boise State loves to live.
Yeah, this is other than that UNLV game, they have been extraordinary. And Dirk Cutter right there has been doing it so long. It's such a high level, 41 years as a college coach. And when you study him, Jason, and if you love the X's and O's and moving the chess pieces around with creativity, very few do it better than Dirk Cutter.
What makes him so good?
Because the details, because the guys know it. And then he stacks formations and plays and play action off so much of the run.
Here's a run, it's Genty off the second gap. What patience, just like his dad taught him. And it's first down.
Yeah, he just loves to get behind these guys. That's why he took them all out to eat this week. Watch these guys. Watch the little symphony with their feet. Just a little outside zone. You see the movement. And the great running backs feel that movement, Jason. They know exactly how that movement is going. And then when they put their shoulders down to go get it.
And with that run, he becomes the all-time leading rusher in Boise State history, a place that has had some really great running backs. Here he goes again, and he's driven back. Tatuo Martinson was the man to close the door that time. A rare loss for Genty, but Boise State, which deferred, has a 7-0 lead. We'll see if they decide to run one more play. No, they won't. They were going to see if maybe they could get an inexpensive 5 yards. But the Broncos, who look like with a win they get a bye in the college football playoff, have owned this first quarter so far in the Treasure Valley of Idaho.
Coach Danielson, you talked about your guys having fun playing loose. What have you liked about the way they've started this game?
Yeah, first off, thank you, Jesus, for another day of life and opportunity to coach this game with these great kids, man. I'm proud of them. I mean, we're doing some good things, had some missed opportunities that we got to learn from, a drop ball, a misfit on defense, but our guys are kind of loose, and we got to be relentless. That's a really good team we're playing, so it's going to be a 4-quarter game.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
It was not a foregone conclusion that Spencer Danielson was going to have this job when these teams convened in the Mountain West title game last year. He was the interim head coach, bro.
Yeah, and I love his story he told us on the plane where all the players are happy and celebrating. The AD basically said to him, hey, good job with the players. They seem to like you.
And then they didn't talk the rest of the flight. They sat next to each other, didn't talk. Second down for Boise State, and Danielson's offense. They'll run that jet sweep, and Bates got lit up in the backfield. Fisher came back, the defensive end, ended that fast.
Yeah, this young man's coming. He is ginormous. He is 6'7", and he's physical. And you could see that wingspan right there. He just swallows that jet sweep up. These two ends, Doyle and K-Mac. He's the young one. Doyle's the fifth-year transfer. But those two guys on the bookends, big reason why UNLV is on this stage as well.
And again, 3rd and long. That can be a neutralizer of this run game with Ashton Genty. Madsen, they got a leg, and down he goes. K-Mac was there first once again, then Whitmore closed shop.
Yeah, this is just now. Again, you expect a big, long guy, right, to go outside. He does not. He loves this inside swim move, and he gets right inside of the tackle there. Schmidt, nowhere for Madsen to go. That's exactly what Spencer was saying to Allison. Like, this is going to be a 4-quarter game. Don't kid yourself. That crew is proud. That crew is relentless, and they've won 10 games because they, too, are really sound at the line of scrimmage.
Watch Ricky White hopping in the middle of that formation. He got blocked that time. UNLV will have it on a touchback. Can you tell that K-Mac learned from Max Crosby in the offseason?
You do kind of see a little bit of that.
Fingerprint, right? All right, UNLV's season recap. They did go 3-0 with Matthew Sluka as the quarterback. Couple of close wins. They changed quarterbacks with Sluka leaving the program in that very newsworthy moment. They go 3-2 their next 5 games. Tough loss to one of the great teams in the country, Syracuse, then Boise State as well. And then UNLV ends up with its first 10-win season since Randall Cunningham was quarterback and punting in '84.
Yeah, they feel like they're playing their best ball. Barry Odom said it to us yesterday. He said it to Allison walking into the stadium. There is a lot of confidence and belief, and they just weathered a pretty good storm in the first quarter.
They have gone back-to-back 3-and-outs. They'll get it to White here. He'll twirl for not a whole lot. Benefield blew that up.
Yeah, I think you've got to get Williams running. That is kind of, if there is an engine to the go-go, White is certainly the cylinder the most productive, but that little 1-2 punch, and Thomas the running back, and Williams being the threat with his legs, over 100 yards rushing in the first matchup. He's got to use his athleticism.
He'll spin and throw to Jesus on the run, and that's a first down and a much-needed one for UNLV. A lot of moving parts here with this offense.
Yeah, 60 snaps in the first matchup. That was it. Only 60, 31 different formations. They do not line up in the same look twice.
It's a first down run, and it is Jet Thomas. He and Williams both from the Atlanta area. They knew of each other growing up.
And I'll be curious, too, how much they work the tempo. Right, talking yesterday to their staff and Brendan Marion, their very energetic offensive coordinator on the sidelines. He talked about wanting to play fast and wanting to play with tempo. I think they played a little too fast. I think some of their communication a little amiss in that first quarter. I like slowing it down.
That's go-go jewelry, by the way, which is an awesome look for Brendan Marion. Jet Thomas thrown back by Benefield, who's been so important with the injury to Alexander Tubner.
Yeah, he is a stud, man. 6'2", 205 pounds, a racer at safety on the back end of it. Started as true freshman. They couldn't keep him off the field. True freshman, you want to play? Well, force your way on the field. He did a year ago, and now they force a critical 3rd and 4.
UNLV has not converted a third down. They're minus 25 yards on third down so far.
And look at that front once again, trying to confuse.
They'll bring four with a stunt right down the middle. Malik Williams to the sideline, and a diving grab by Thompson. Thompson with a beautiful catch. Oh my goodness gracious.
This is a guy that had just 6 the entire season, and you can't do it better than that.
Ooh, did he? Did it hit the ground? It's very close, Brock.
It can hit the ground. I don't know if he ever loses control, though. It doesn't look like replay stopping. They took a good look at it.
Malik Williams looking for an alley, and he's met by Benefield again.
What I would say there is the ball can hit the ground as long as you never really lose control of it, and I don't think he did. So remember, every play is reviewed. The replay, we met with them earlier before the game. They looked at that play 2-3 times. Good on them to not stop it and keep the flow of this game moving.
There's that option off this go-go offense, and he is doused by Benefield along with Zion Washington. Man, Ty Benefield is having a half.
He sure is, and they are just winning the numbers game in some of this perimeter run, Jason. Okay, you're going to get 3 defenders there. You see Benefield zero the safety. You got the linebacker. You got the safety fast flowing. You've got numbers. The key to that option is you want 2-on-1. You want 3-on-2, but the Broncos, they're outnumbering them and hitting it right in the mouth.
Look at the eyes of Benefield. Third down throw come this way, and no chance to catch and run for Thompson. So it looks like about a 47-yard field goal for one of the best kickers you'll see, Caden Chittenden, a Las Vegas native.
And that look by Aj, he's like, this air is heavy tonight. That ball in the dome is going to have no problem. Nice heavy gloves, too, by the kicker. That ball just died and left a pretty long field goal.
Freshman of the year in the Mountain West, Chittenden, ready to ski and kick. Call it 48 officially, and that hits the crossbar and bounces back. Just when you thought you'd seen it all this college football season. Take a listen.
I can't call that a doink.
I mean, that is the margin. He had no idea. Welcome back to the 2024 Mountain West Championship on Fox, sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? One of the loudest field goal misses you'll hear took us to break. Now after that, Boise State goes from the 31. Ashton Genty showing the agility to bounce outside a couple of alleys, and he gets a half yard. The pursuit was great from Whitmore. A hit that was late enough to send the crowd into an uproar, but no marker. They're not saying blue about the turf.
Nope, and that was about a half-yard run and about 3.5 missed tackles created. And again, all of these early runs, they know, they fully believe, and the production speaks to it, is you may get us for 0 or 1 or 2, but we keep giving him at bats. He's going to hit more than singles.
It was an 8-minute drive in the fourth quarter in the first meeting that closed the game for Boise State. Madsen got it for Strawn. That's a first down, and more Catalan trying to rip the ball out. And Strawn never got tackled. He just got stood up, gain of 13.
Just a little out route. I like coming back. An early drop on third down. Doesn't matter. Come back to Strawn. And even more, Jason, I love the poise of Madsen. It's our first time seeing Boise in person, and it shows up on film. But you do watch the body language of quarterbacks, and you can feel when some of them get a little frantic with the stage. Not him. No stage fright tonight at all.
They call him Mad Dog. He acts like it. First down for the Broncos. Genty is enveloped again by Whitmore, among others. You mentioned it's a baseball family. Dad was a baseball coach in the state of Utah at the college level. And you can tell that they really enjoy the game that we call our national pastime.
Really enjoy it.
Like, a lot.
As much as any. Wow.
Awesome. Second down. Maddox on the roll, and he'll drop it off for Wagner, the tight end, who gets popped by Baldwin, the senior out of Houston.
He's a good player too. Second team all conference. He's their nickelback. And many teams, when you run that play against them with all that heavy run play action, that's a first down sneaking out the other side. Not with the veteran Baldwin. He's got tremendous closing speed. And again, forces a 3rd and 8+.
Boise has converted pretty well on these third downs so far, but they don't want to live here. On the average, it is 8+ so far tonight. Free runner was Woodard. Madsen got it away, and Lauder fights. Very close, they're going to say. Let's see, he's just short by about 1/4 of a yard.
Remember, Maddox is about 5'10", and the crowd doesn't like it. But I think this is probably goes on. He's about 5'10", and here comes Woodard right up the A-gap. A little surprise there. The guards, a little late carry-on's got to squeeze that. Anytime you have linebackers in that A-gap, you got to squeeze down, not allow that free runner right at your quarterback. But once again, the poise of Madsen to stand in there and deliver and create now a 4th and go opportunity.
Under further review.
They're going to review this. They're going to stop it and take a look. It's 4th and 1 officially. It was very close. Lauder looked like he stretched, but when is the knee down?
So again, that pressure is coming right up the A-gap. That is hard for a quarterback. Takes guts to stand in there. And here comes the underneath route. Dean Blandino, you've looked at this a couple times. What do you see?
When you're reviewing these plays, you're looking for the first body part that's going to put him down. Here, it looks like that left elbow. We do have a big line, the 45. It was marked just short. I don't see anything to change this. When the elbow is down, the ball might just be short. Maybe they could have given him a little more. I don't know if there's enough to make it a first down.
Well, Dean, it looks like his body twists a little bit as he comes down. This is a good look at it. This is probably our best look here. Watch where the elbow is and the ball, you know, the point of the ball. Dean, does that look change it for you at all?
You know, that was the look we were focusing on. Again, the point of the ball, if it does make the line of gain, it makes it just by a couple of inches. And again, it's got to be clear and obvious to change it. They're going to take a good look at this. Again, I like it to jump out. Hey, a couple of looks. Yeah, it's clearly a first down. They're going to analyze it a little further. And if they have enough, if they feel they have enough, they'll make it a first down.
Appreciate you, Dean.
But the only reason they're in this spot is this quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, guys on the big noon set were asking me earlier, Rob Stone said, hey, who is it outside of Genty? And you're seeing some of the defense. My goodness gracious. Benefield and Oladipo and Robinson, they've all, you know, they've all eaten defensively. But I think the country and Spencer Danielson is showing off his young quarterback. They took a transfer. Malachi Nelson came in here, 5-star kid from USC, all this talent in the world. And there's Maddox Madsen, been in the program, got hurt last year. 5'10", maybe, 200 maybe. But man, does he have some guts and created a whole lot of belief in the people around him.
After review, call the field stands. 4th down.
That makes sense. Dean, thank you very much. Great call. The fans don't like it. But I will say, Boise State was 4 for 4 on 4th down in the first meeting this year in October.
Yeah, and he's really good with the sneak, and you saw it earlier tonight already. There's just some QBs that have a sense and a feel for that as well, that if you get the right look, he sneaks in there and has moved the chains a bunch.
Quickly to the line, the tight ends have to set with them both in motion. Genty was in a short set, and he's got the first down. That is as easy as can be for this offensive line.
Says who? Look at this cut right here, Jason. Again, you just talk about the subtleties of reading it. And you know, if you tried to ask Barry Sanders, how did you know when to cut? And he'd be like, what are you talking about?
Just did it.
I just do it.
Right?
It's just a reaction. It's an instinct. It's a gift.
How about his upright set behind the line of scrimmage? So calm. Manson snaps it off. Deep ball, middle of the field, incomplete. Tony Grimes with outstanding coverage.
Yeah, this is now a couple times. We saw it on a field goal miss. We saw it on a little hitch route with Williams. This is the first time this cool, heavy air has gotten in the way of a throw there by Matson. That ball's underneath. He's beaten by 2 or 3 yards, but there's some of that length. There's a 6'2" corner, right? Someone they went out and targeted in the transfer portal, knowing you needed those guys to make plays like that. But if that ball could have got up and down a little quicker, it'd have been 14-0.
Does that change your play call with the deep balls dying like that?
It can.
Snap again. They'll feed it to Genty. Off the outside.
He can too.
Nice block from Dooley there on Woodard, by the way. Yes, he can fix it.
He can fix it, and he can change a play caller's mind. And for Dirk Cutter, who's been doing it again so long at the college, the NFL level, he knows that all of these attempts just, and they affect that defense, not only wearing them down, Jason, physically, but then it does set up the play action shots that they're so good at off of that heavy run action. And look at that upright nature you talked about.
Just serene, and then it turns into this rugged guy leaning in for a block that time. It's Lauder on the catch, and it's a first down for one of those Boise State tight ends.
Yeah, he's not just a runner. It's why the NFL guys will love him. That's a 6'4", 255-pound end. Antonio Doyle is a grown man. And that's a protection you do at the next level as well. Kick protection, you got to go kick that block out. You got to put your shoulder pad into his thigh pad. Teaching tape.
Grew up playing American football in Italy. Ashton Genty as they'll flick it out. It's Lauder again. He's hit after 2. UNLV has run a total of 19 plays.
Yeah, the goal was 80.
They gonna get there?
I mean, it's a long game. But we talked to Brendan Marion about that, and he said, yeah, 60 plays last time. That's not going to cut it. It's not going to be good enough. They're not even close to that pace because, remember, Boise deferred, and we'll get the ball to begin the second half as well.
You see Zach Holmes, who's come into the game for Mason Randolph, who had that biceps injury coming into the game. 2nd and 9, short toss. Genty carving for the first down.
You know what else I appreciate about this Boise program is you got veteran guys that just buy into their role. That's Austin Bolt. And, you know, he comes in to block. He'll get a catch or two. He got 14 on the season, about 1 a game. But he'll come in and block. Chase Penry will come in and block. Right? They will set up each other, and they will just do the dirty work because they know that Heisman guy behind him, give him a lane, he knows what to do with it.
He certainly does. Manson felt the heat from Doyle, turned upfield. Oh, what instincts! Touchdown! Oh, they're going to say he's short.
First down.
Let's take a look at this. No way. That's a touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, that side judge, he saw, I think, on first look, what you imagine, and that's that left knee going down, right?
It didn't. Looked like it was gonna. It didn't.
Do you see space between the blue spandex and the blue turf?
He threw a circle change.
That's unbelievable. And the word, you said it exactly right. It's instincts with a capital I. To both run it, that was going to be a little quick screen outside. It's totally blocked. And then he sees daylight. He's done this a bunch this year. He did it against UNLV down there.
Yep.
With a great running touchdown. That would be number 5 on the year if it's overturns.
He's like, come on, man. How do you do that?
He's got a little baseball player mind to him, doesn't he?
How so?
Just nothing's too big.
Ball broke the goal line. Price of running being down. Touchdown.
What baseball player? See ball, hit ball. Oh, championship stage. Play. Make a mistake, flush it. You know, just I think some of the advantage of a baseball family and a baseball psyche is nothing is too big, and you just go play with those reaction skills and that tremendous instinct. What a magnificent run.
His dad was a coach at Utah Valley, college baseball coach. Maddox, for the longest time, was the bat boy. So he saw all of the ups and downs, right? Dad's team wins, dad's team loses. All of that goes along with it, and you just kind of find this center. He felt Doyle coming. He turned aside, got into the end zone after further review, and it's all Boise State in a huge one in Idaho. The Mountain West Championship on Fox is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save, get more with Geico. And by KFC. It's finger licking good. Maddox Madsen touchdown. 14-0 Boise State. As close as you can come to being inside of a snow globe in college football.
Yeah, when we're fishing up in Alaska and we got a marine layer like this with Captain Tom, we call it a milk bowl.
You do?
Yeah. And that's where you got to use your electronics and your radar, because it is just a heavy air. Look at the, what is it, inversion, the fog inversion?
Yeah.
And it's pretty cold down there too.
It's a thick air for cold air. 14-0 Boise State. This is an enormous drive for UNLV coming up. Irvin again on the return. They need a good one, and they've got a pretty good one here across the 30. Irvin will make his way past the kicker Dalmas to the 42. Back to the score.
So let me show you something here. This is going to be a little RPO. Dooley actually gets out in front of this. It's going to be a pretty good run. Look at it, they got a pretty good lane. Madsen says, no, I'm going to throw the bubble screen outside. It's covered, and then it's like, I got to go. That's a little moment of desperation, like I got to go, and I got to go right now. Right, but that's, again, some of that just playing the game, man. Okay, I should have handed it as it turned out. I didn't. The screen's covered, and I go make up for it and compensate. Big time.
UNLV right now needs a score. Boise State gets the ball out of halftime. Pressure coming up the middle. This is Kylan James. He's strung out to the sideline. He breaks free, and there's a marker in. It looks like this is coming back.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty. And then first down.
The right guard, Sua.
Yeah, and he's going to kick out in front of this. A little pin and pulls. He's going to come right here. A block down. He tries to pull out front, and all he can do is grab Hassanin right in full view. That's one of those as a guard, you're like, of course. You're going to see that in all its glory, and it's going to set you back.
These ends are both all Mountain West performers on the first team for Boise State. First and 20. James again with a light box gets to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, this was an area they attacked much better in the first matchup. Right between those A gaps, right off the center. Both with Williams, the run game. It's about the first time they've sprung anything with success tonight.
UNLV wants the biggest win in program history to get to the college football playoffs. They got to have points when we come back. The Mountain West Championship on Fox is sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? 14-0 Boise State downstairs, Rob Stone.
All right, Chase, thanks. Coming up at the break, we'll scan around the nation, check in on some of the other conference championship games going on right now, including Army hosting Tulane in the AAC, and then Rich Rod getting it done with Jacksonville State in the Conference USA game. Plus the guys will join me. We'll preview some of the big championship games coming your way tomorrow. Guys, we'll see you at the break.
We look forward to that, Stoner. Thank you very much.
He's not cold.
No. Come on. Second down and 11. Holding penalty, 9-yard gain, and now second down for UNLV. Trailing by 14, Boise State gets the ball out of halftime. Malik Williams wants to run, and he's dropped. Oladipo again had an alley.
Jason, that is now 2 sacks. If they consider that a pass, that may have been a run as well. You said it earlier. I mean, he's the best sack-making safety in college football. 5.5 coming in. He got the one earlier. In that second-level attack, UNLV does not have an answer to tonight.
Now, Boise State did not use a timeout there. It is 3rd and 15. And now here comes a timeout from the Broncos.
I think playing a little game of chicken to see if they would snap it.
Yeah.
They didn't. Took the timeout, and a 3rd down UNLV has to have.
Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. A little cold to take a dip, but 14-0 Boise State. And man, the run game just hasn't really gotten on track for UNLV.
No, this is a group that runs for 254 yards a game. I mean, one of the best in the country. 3 sacks obviously hurts that run game. 6 for 7 for Williams, but really just one big play, and that is it.
Negative yards galore. 3rd and 15 here. Williams this way, and that's immediately overrun. Amarion McCoy hit White and forces 4th down, as he says with the fist in the air, and a timeout, Broncos.
We'll take their second charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
So 1:23 left, 1 timeout left for Boise State. And we remind you, Sunday on Fox, huge NFL doubleheader starts with the Panthers off a near upset against Tampa Bay, taking on Jalen Hurts, the Eagles, or other regional action. Then America's Game of the Week. Josh Allen and the Bills take on Matt Stafford and the Rams, or the Bears under new management take on the Niners. Check your local listings for the game in your area. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Kind of a quiet first half for Ashton Jeanty. 12 carries. Guy's been averaging 31 a game here in the final 6 games, 37 last week. But I have a hunch you're going to continue to see more and more of him over the final 31 minutes.
Jones will let that rumble into the end zone. The thing is, he'll wear you down with those 1- and 2-yard runs, and then suddenly it goes for more.
Yeah, and this was right off the jump. A great job there by Matson of catching that high snap and then just making people miss. 1, 2, 3. I love this in pass protection as well. Everybody on this team and within this developmental program plays their role, whether it's running, whether it's blocking. And then, yeah, I mean, this was a 1-yard run that he made 4 people miss.
So $1.16 here. Jeanty is the tailback. UNLV has 3 timeouts. Jeanty, little jump cut, and he'll swerve back to the 25. I doubt UNLV is going to take any timeouts here.
I don't think so.
So with that run, Ashton Jeanty is now 4th all-time in a single season at the FBS level. Marcus Allen, wow, is the man he just passed. These are names. I mean, Barry Sanders tweeting about you. Marcus Allen is behind you now. An unreal talent. And there he goes. Jeanty into the clear blue. Touchdown. Nobody has more 50-yard plays than that Heisman candidate, Ashton Jeanty.
This is why you keep handing it to that guy. Because you think, well, we won that down, kind of won that down, and then all of a sudden, that next at bat, you just leave something down the middle, and he does what nobody else in the game can do. and now only a few in the history of the game have done from his production level. Great block by Carrion. Tremendous block once again from Austin Bolt. But his quickness, and then Jason, there's just, it's him and Travis, right?
Yep.
Travis Hunter. We saw Travis 4 times. Those two, Matson loves it, he knows, and he's watched a bunch of these 50-plus yard runs all year. There's an athletic arrogance that I am just better than everybody else in the game. It is those two and those two alone that are in consideration for the sport's biggest individual trophy. Look at that.
More than teams. All of his numbers are more than FBS teams. 100 teams have fewer rushing yards than he does. I mean, it is, and you saw his dad Harry in the stands, and it's well documented that Ashton Genty's career really took off in Italy because his dad was in the Navy and was in Naples. That's where Genty's football career really started to launch, Allison Williams.
Yeah, it really began in Italy, and his dad, Harry, was there serving as a Navy commanding officer. He said even then he was drawing attention. Harry told me today he'd be trying to get home after a long day of work, and people would just continuously stop him and want to talk to him about his son and how special he was, whether it was football or basketball. He said even back then, off base, in the grocery store, in this small Italian city, people could see how special Ashton is. And guys, it's actually pretty similar to what he's going through now with all the Heisman hype and the praise for Genty. But he said it has been such a special, special ride that started overseas.
It was a long ride too, you know, 18-hour bus rides one way to go play football games, and just the grind of football and how much he loves it. And you see it on full display on a night like tonight. That is incomplete through the arms of White. It's second down for UNLV.
Well, Barry Sanders, if you're watching, why don't you tweet us again and let us know what you thought of that run. And I'm going to guess our Heisman guy downstairs, Mark Ingram, probably jumped up out of set and just exploded. I mean, Mark won that Heisman. He knows how hard it is to do what that guy does, what he makes look easy. 132 yards, and again, he bottled him up for a quarter and a half, but you're not going to knock him down.
75 yards of beauty from Genty. It's a low snap. Williams goes the same direction. Sideline. It's intercepted. Jeremiah Irby was stapled to his man. Thompson didn't have a chance.
I mean, it's just man on man. I mean, that's where you go, right? You get your one-on-one, you got to go win it. The challenge is you're not winning one-on-ones really anywhere. There have been times your defensive line has won some one-on-ones, but by and large, your protection's been a struggle. By and large, there's been no explosive plays. And for Williams, he's not had a night, a half, anything like this in Vegas all season long.
Last time UNLV was shut out in the first half was at Michigan, September 9th of last year. It's happening in a huge spot in one of the toughest places to play in all of college football. Boise State wins here 82% of the time, and in this frigid, foggy Friday evening, it is all Boise State so far. Stay tuned. Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, Mark Ingram, Matt Leinart, Urban Meyer have the halftime show right after these messages.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
And we come out the other side of halftime. Welcome back to the 2024 Mountain West Championship on Fox, sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? Time now for our first half check-in, sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. The rush yards basically doubled on one hit from Ashton Genty into the end zone that has flipped this game. Boise State had the lead. Now it looks almost insurmountable. UNLV's got work to do, Brock.
They do, and this is the best Boise has looked, I mean, a long time.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, just running into Coach Peterson up here and some of the other fans in the hallway and everything else. And that's why UNLV felt like coming into this game, they were playing their best ball. And maybe Boise State was on a little bit of fumes. And then the Broncos said, no, we're not. And it really started with the quarterback. I mean, Matson, this throw was just off the charts. One spot and one spot alone to find pay dirt, they do. And then that's the first time he looked like Mad Dog. I mean, he is just running in the athleticism to punch it in for 7. And the Ashton Jeanty had a little slower first quarter, a little slower first 11, 12 carries. It just takes one to watch his stars shine.
When he revs the engine in the straightaway, that's when you see the speed that goes along with the tackle breaking ability.
We've seen great backs this year.
Yeah.
Devin Neal's the greatest to ever do it at Kansas. Taj Brooks, greatest to ever do it at Texas Tech. Great backs. They don't have that like 5th gear that in the open field. You got to catch them in. I mean, we'll see what happens here. There's still a lot of football to play.
There are Heisman votes out there.
I would say this. Any Heisman voter that already cast his ballot should never get to vote again. This championship weekend, this is like, should be some of the most important ground and data point.
Capel's on the return. He's across the 20-yard line. Allison Williams downstairs.
How we start this second half will dictate the rest of the game. That's what UNLV head coach Barry Odom told me. He said we absolutely have to get a stop defensively and go out and score offensively. If we do, we've got a game. If we don't, we're going to be in trouble. And on offense, guys, he said we haven't been in bad positions, but then we'll get a penalty or a sack. It's a self-inflicted stuff. We've been in too many 3rd and longs. We've got to be more aggressive in the second half.
Allison, thank you. And they just have not been that team this year. UNLV has protected the football so well. Jeanty, blocking Sled City. Tony Grimes got waylaid.
I mean, this isn't right. Coming out of halftime, trying to warm up.
Listen. That was the aftermath, and it hurt.
Make that smooth and rhythm.
We have the best microphones in the business. Folks, Jeanty tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and Whitmore trying to infuse some energy into this defense.
Yeah, these 2 tackles have made a couple plays now. Martinson, Whitmore, these guys in the middle. He just splits again. We've seen this a couple times, that penetration, splitting through guard and center and just getting, that's what you got to do. Don't wait till he gets started and absorb him. Get to his feet before he can get going. Monumental 3rd down.
3rd and 4. Short drop. Madsen got it complete. It's not a first down. Cameron Camper got tossed, and Grimes reacted well to a tough first down.
He's like, I much rather prefer tackling that guy than the bowling ball that was coming at me. A little short there for Camper. You got to get to the sticks on 3rd and 5 there. He does not. It's going to force the punt. And I said monumental to echo what Barry Odom said to Allison. We have got to get a stop against Spencer Danielson. We've got to get the ball back.
Madsen was lobbying. He wanted to go.
No. First 3 and out all evening for the Broncos.
Ferguson Reynolds on the punt. DeJesus back to receive at the 25. They had to have it. They get the ball back off a 55-yard punt. The Rebels trying to stay alive in the college football playoff picture, trailing 3 scores. Offensive coordinator Brennan Marion for UNLV as we welcome you back to the 2024 Mountain West Championship on Fox. 254 on the average, top 5 in the country. 12 tonight. How do you fix it?
Yeah, 3 sacks don't help. I think you got to run right at them. You got to do what you did the first time around, whether that's, you know, the quarterback run up the middle, whether that's your running backs up the middle. Attack that trench between the guards, because the perimeter run and the perimeter play has been all Boise State.
Through the fog that's rolling in, UNLV football for the first time in the second half. They'll get it out quickly and high, and that is incomplete for DeJesus. McCoy put a lick on him, second down. Malik Williams, you see it in his eyes. He told us this week, I've got to be an elite point guard. I've got to get the ball to my guys, and he missed that time.
He did. I got to be the facilitator. That's what this go-go offense is all about. You saw De Jesus' face. He shook his head like, man, you just threw me into a rib shot. Put that on my body.
Hassanin with his hands in the air trying to exhort the crowd. Drop off a screen for Thomas. He'll step through and keep his feet somehow. And he's finally going to be pulled back by Virgin Morgan. Nice catch and run, though, third down.
That was a really nice job. That looked a little bit like Genty on the other side of just making people miss. The corner out there, Banks, is left grabbing for air, and now a manageable 3rd and 4. When it's been 3rd and 7+, it's been blitz. They've not been able to identify it. It has been sack after sack, and letting those psychos get even more and more loud.
Thomas split out wide at the bottom, White at the top of your screen. The best receiver on this team all year. Williams flushed and throwing, and now it's going to be 4th down coming up. He got Belingai, the tight end, his first catch. Do you go?
Oh boy. This is a long.
It's a yard and a half.
Yard. This is not right short distance, but you better get it.
Thomas, the tailback. 4th and 1. Here he goes. Pushing for the first down. Toughness.
First down.
Yeah, nice job by Moore, the H-back tight end that's going to come across here, and he's going to help block. And then watch Williams. This is what a 6-year quarterback does. I'm not going to stand and watch. I better get in there and do what I can to push that pile forward as well. A little desperation in the call, desperation in the effort to get the first.
They're living in must-have land all second half. That is off the mark for White on a slant from Williams.
You can just see the feet. Right? You can always tell, I always say this to you, even the most veteran quarterbacks played a lot of ball, Jason, his feet just get a little pitter-patter because he's been sacked 3 times, he's been hit consistently, he's just not in the rhythm. Compare and contrast his body and Mattson on the other side, night and day.
How do you get it back?
Completions, completions, completions.
See if there's a screen in there. 2nd down. Malik Williams will run this time, and Benefield upends him once more, 3rd and long.
Gosh, your eyes are just all over him. The secondary defenders, a little bit of an advantage here, I think, playing them a second time, playing the system a second time. And even though there's no Tubner, there's Benefield, there's Oladipo. Spencer's got his guys on the back end that are just locked in with their optics and eyes.
Benefield forced his way onto the field last year. He was too good to keep off the field for that defense. On 3rd down, pressure from the safety spot, over the top, nearly intercepted by Benefield. He had his hands on it, and it'll be 4th down anyway.
You can see his body language. He's going to be a little bummed because he wants it. Okay, so you run all that motion, Jason, to really declare that you're going to get man-to-man, right? You kind of get what you want, but you can't have 2 guys in the same spot. I mean, that just can't happen. And I think that's why you saw the look on Williams' face, like, what are we doing here? We are discombobulated.
Jones will let this sail into the end zone again. It's a big boot of 64 yards. The net chops 20 off of it. Boise State sensing a bye in the college football playoff here at home. The Mountain West Championship on Fox is sponsored by T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network. UNLV is going to have to avoid having this ball of yarn unspool for them. What do you see there?
Yeah, I mean, this is frustration because you've not had any of this. You know, the run for Williams has been really offensively dynamic. They've not had a game like this where they can't run it, where they can't really throw it effectively. I think he's frustrated. The two guys are in the exact same spot. There's a bust of some sort, but keeping poise will be critical here. You lose your poise, you got no chance to come back in this building.
And part of it is they're under 3 yards of play. They're on an average of 6.5 for the year. As you said, they have not really had games like this. They lost a couple of games close range in the regular season. Genty straight ahead. He has 15 touchdowns this year against 9+ man boxes. So if he gets through this defense, look out.
Yeah, this is the only defense that held him under 4 yards a carry all season long. You saw the work, though, 33 to still get a $128. And he was close, man. You watch that first matchup, there were 2 or 3 runs. The Catalan makes an amazing play, a little shoelace tackle. So he didn't hit any home runs in that first one. He got one in the first half for sure.
And now you have to imagine they will ride him to what they hope to be victory. That's carry number 18 on the day. And now suddenly it's 18 for 150.
Yeah, and this is where that front 7 for UNLV. And we've seen Martinson, right? We've seen some of the plays up front. Whitmore, tremendous effort. K-Mac and Doyle. This is where those big guys on a cold night, they too cannot lose their poise. Right? They've got to continue to split some of those double teams. They've got to continue to get some of the penetration that has held some of those runs down.
They are top 10 in the country in rush defense. Yards this year as Madsen will scramble and throw, and that's incomplete. It was high for Bolt, and he got cleaned out by Elad.
We've seen a few of these receivers tonight kind of look back at the quarterback like, you know, it's one thing in September to take a hit like that on an 80-degree day. It's quite another when it's like in the 20s and my whole body's frozen and my ribs get exposed.
Genty out of the backfield. Oh boy. That was Matador stuff from Wiley and bucking Bronco in Genty.
But this isn't like lack of want to. This isn't a business decision. Look, he's coming up and he's bringing what he has. Now you'd like to see the eyes stay up. You'd like to try to grab and reach and wrap for something, but he gives you no surface area to hit. The elite ones have a way to bend and still be so doggone explosive that there's nothing to grab.
He makes sure of it. Genty again. He'll end up with a yard in the arms of Whitmore. He takes care of his body as well. That's a signature of Ashton Genty in his nutrition, in the massages he gets, among other things, to protect that body.
Yeah, there is some advantage to playing in this day and age with, you know, some resources that you may have that you didn't have 20 years ago for massage therapists, for cryotherapy, for all the things that go into putting that body back together.
This whole game is cryotherapy at 23 degrees. Madsen to the sideline. What a grab by Camper. Amazing.
Wow. And that's a guy whose number we've not really called tonight. That foot gets in. He controls it all the way down. He had a drop that he was super bummed of a touchdown a week ago against Oregon State, where the degree of difficulty was 0, and that was a 10. You can see Spencer loving every minute of it. Leading receiver right there, the transfer. Dirk Cutter loves him. Said if he could have been healthy, you're talking about an NFL guy. He showed off some skills right there.
Tore his ACL with Indiana against Rutgers a couple of years ago, and he is full back now as Genty will lean. But we saw the shot of Spencer Danielson on the sideline. And he just has positivity coming out of his pores. And he talked about that championship game last year. The indelible memory for him was seeing his assistants with tears in their eyes, not necessarily even tears of joy, but tears of who knows if we're going to get to do this again. And the togetherness of this staff is showing in a big way. And the players too tonight. On second down, Madsen sings it over the middle, nearly intercepted. McDuffie had his paws all over it.
these linebackers can be so sneaky sometimes, Jason. They're just a quarterback's enemy. Look at McDuffie here. He jumps the underneath, right? He looks like he's going to take that underneath and give Mattson that window behind. And, man, that was a play that desperately needed. And Mattson knows, like in baseball, I just got an error. I just got away with one right there. An extra out.
It's a fastball down the middle. He got fouled off, maybe. Mattson, some loft there, and that's right at the defender. Incomplete. Catalan is like, what happened to my hands?
They're frozen.
That's right. I mean,
and this is a defense now, 4th in the country in interceptions. They take the ball away. I mean, that is back-to-back throws now that are right in harm's way. 17 interceptions coming in. Plus, what, 14 on the season, and those are 2 they had to have.
Boise State hemmed in. Ricky White there, a great punt blocker. Just a little bit of contact with Benefield and DeJesus. See a marker out there. So UNLV will have it from the 9 when we come back. Urgency for the Rebels after this. Starting next week on Fox, College Hoops Friday takes over primetime. Indiana, Nebraska, and a Big Ten showdown tipping off next Friday, 8 Eastern on Fox or the Fox Sports app. That Friday night college basketball window is open all season. We have Friday night business in the college football playoff soon to take care of. Boise State trying to secure a bye, leading by 3 scores at home. This run right up that A-gap. It is James. UNLV had to have it. Does he have enough to get in? No. Oladipo tracked him down. It's 1st and goal, though. 87 yards.
Wow. This is the area they attacked in the first matchup. A little surprised they've gone away from it. A terrific job to get to the double team. They get right to Simpson, and there's nobody. You play this dime defense, and you got guys spread out all over the field. You've handled everything in the alley. Terrific effort to chase him down eventually. Ooh, and a little shot back and forth between White and McCoy, but that is exactly what the Rebels needed.
1st and goal. That's a delay. My goodness. They have really struggled. Red zone touchdown percentage right around half and half.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, not just Kim. As you see Spencer trying to rile Bronco Nation up down in that end zone. That just can't. You do all that work. You have the explosive play. You've got momentum. And you can see the struggles there. 119th in the country. Nobody's gone down there. 68 trips to the red zone more. But finding Paver, it's been difficult, and that won't help.
It's the tight end, Bolingai in motion. Thomas secures the ball and gets hit from behind, maybe a yard. Virgin Morgan hopped on him, 2nd and goal.
So asking Brendan Marion about those struggles in the red zone, he said really clearly, we got answers. And I'm going to lean into my strengths, QB run and tight ends. Right, this is where the creativity of your quarterback for Brendan Marion's really got to come to life. And your big body tight ends, Bolingai in particular has got 6 touchdowns on the season.
They hit Bolingai on a throwback in the first meeting. There he is. Williams is dropped. Marco Notriani that time.
Well, this was a touchdown they got last week. Same exact play that you referenced versus Nevada. Bolingai sneaking out of here on a little delay. And after the fake, he was wide open. Today, covered up. And then even more, nothing but blue. That delay of game was catastrophic.
Can they overcome it in a loud end zone? See Williams blowing on his hands. It is cold down there. To throw for White. And it is incomplete. McCoy's been following him, and he had the coverage.
Those are the two that were chirping a little bit. Those were the two that both threw a little punch, and this was the matchup this time around that Shenander said, I'm putting good on good. Wherever that guy goes, McCoy is going to travel with them. He has tonight, and that is just terrific cornerback play to knock it away.
What do you like here?
I hate 4th and goal from the 10. But I like my big body tight ends.
DeJesus in motion. Williams, end zone, too much. Bradley had broken free by a step, but the ball was over his head, and the Broncos take over.
Championship stage, details matter. The little details matter. That false start just unfortunately sabotaged all the momentum after that 87-yard burst.
The Mountain West Championship on Fox is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. And by Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay. It could have been a 91-yard touchdown. Instead, it was an 87-yard run ended by Oladipo, which led to a stop for his defense, Brock.
Unbelievable effort. And then incredible frustration. You see the right tackle there, Shanks, the all-conference. Remember, letting off some steam.
Genty breaks through, and you got to hold on for dear life. Elad, who in community college played at Garden City for the Bronc Busters, just barely busted that block.
Yeah, Elad missed on the last one that he took to the house. If he didn't grab him there, that's another 90-yarder. He's not going to get caught. There's nobody going to chase him down. Oladipo wouldn't be able to catch him. But let's put a gold star by that Oladipo effort. That was DK Metcalf chasing down Buda Baker. That was not giving up on the play and ultimately getting the stop.
It is truly the atmosphere around this Boise State program. Madsen through this soupy air, incomplete for Camper. Deep balls are not exactly top of menu tonight.
No, and that's 3 in a row. About as good a first half as Madsen could have possibly played with his arm, his legs, his mind. And this is now his last 3 throws. 2 could have been intercepted. That would have been a superhuman effort. But that post route's got to be to the middle of the field. Maybe it's the fog, maybe it's the cold. But the aerial attack a whole lot less sharp here in the second half.
The fog has really rolled in throughout the day here into the second half. Now Genty chooses door number 2, and he lurches forward for about 3. Doyle got him by the leg.
I kind of wondered if this D-line would continue to play, and that answer is yes. This is a proud crew. This has been a really good defense. Stopping the run better than anybody in the country or in the Mountain West. 10th in the country, and you can see it. They're still continuing to chirp. Whitmore and Martinson and Doyle and K-Mac continue to bring the juice.
This is one of the best teams in UNLV history. I mean, only 3 times have they had double-figure wins. And there is, as you said, some pride and some belief still settling there. As Crow is back there. Madsen down the middle, that's incomplete. Baldwin on the coverage of Penry. And it's 4th down, so this great punt block team for UNLV has a chance with Boise State backed up.
Yeah, they've not gotten really close. Penry unable to bring that one in, or even the return game, one of the two. Either a block, he's blocked 4 and altered 3, or DeJesus on the back end of it is also dynamic.
Why you see him talking there, trying to find a lane. He's going to back off this time and try to set up a return. And he will do so. DeJesus across the 40-yard line. The Bronco defense has been outstanding today.
Yeah, they have had all the answers out on the perimeter. There has been nowhere for the dynamic Williams to run outside the tackle box. And then in passing situations, Jason, I've loved the pressures that Shenander and his staff have brought, the one-on-ones. And there have been a bunch of them, one-on-one situations, and give credit to McCoy and Irby. They've just been better on the perimeter as well. Really every phase of it, and that's the only way you pitch a shutout.
Eric Shenander told us, defensive coordinator, said we had a bunch of missed opportunities in that first meeting to make it a wider spread in that game. They're up 3 scores now. Ball's on the ground, and Williams just going to have to scramble for it, and he turns it into something at least. But Eric Shenander's got to be proud of his defense today. And there's one other person who's proud too, right, Brock?
You think Mom Ann out there in Iowa is proud? That's her boy right there. And had a shutout all season, 7 at Hawaii.
Oh boy, ball's on the ground again. Williams scoops it up and throws, and that's to the sideline. White looks like it was oh, they're gonna say he caught it.
Well, there's men downfield anyway, so terrific effort, but there are about 8 flags on the field. Because with the fumbled snap, all the linemen were downfield.
They're gonna move it back here.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Main second down.
You mentioned Eric Shenander's mom. Big football family, right, Allison Williams?
That's right. Eric grew up in Iowa, the son of a longtime high school football coach, but it's his mom, Ann, that sends him the texts after games about what he needs to be doing better, a little constructive criticism after each game from Mom. So we asked what she said after the last UNLV game, and she told him, I see there's always missed opportunities. I know it must drive you crazy because you work and practice all week. But they have skilled players too. You guys can get it. Enjoy the kids.
That was verbatim.
Right?
That's awesome, Allison. So good.
Be careful, Ann, what you send.
Second down for UNLV. Williams, deep ball, too far to the sideline.
Yeah, they just hit none of these. And there's a reason that Barry Odom said explosives and takeaways, explosive and takeaways. They dropped 2 or 3 picks. And you could see the frustration with everybody, but these explosives, they just cannot and have not hit one of them.
One in the run game.
Yeah, and Boise's just daring them. But Boise just say, hey, we'll continue to press, we'll continue to play man, we'll continue to put more bodies. Look at this, all around the line of scrimmage until you show us you can beat us down the field.
See Oladipo over the right tackle there from his safety spot. He'll back off. Nowhere to be found.
Incomplete pass.
Yikes.
Well, you know, I say this to you, Jason, a bunch. I said it earlier. I just have not seen these feet look like this in any of his starts. Look at him. They're just kind of unsettled. He's off balance. He's unsettled. But it doesn't matter who you are. If you're Tom Brady facing the New York Giants in the Super Bowl and undefeated and you get hit and harassed and sacked, it affects you. And right now, Williams has been affected by all of this pressure and this onslaught by the Broncos.
Boise State will get it back as that goes checking up outside of the 20-yard line. Tonight's Smokin' Player of the Game sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? It's Ashton Jeanty clearing space for his team to go to the college football playoff. He runs like it.
He kind of does.
I mean,
I don't know if that thing can cut as quickly as that, and then I certainly don't know if it gets to top speed the way he does in a hurry. He's just different. I mean, it's just kind of ho-hum, right? Like you're watching this game, 164, just ho-hum past Marcus Allen. And now, you know, what, 4th all-time?
4th all-time. And he's worked so hard for it, too. You think about his history as he fights through Woodard. That's one of the best defensive players in the country, Woodard, going for a ride on the Jeanty coaster.
No, it's a Bronco. It's a Bronco. And Woodard is one tough hombre right here. Watch this. It's like those guys when at the rodeo when they kind of jump off and they try to take the cattle. Look at him. I can't take him down. I can't not take him down.
What is it about Jeanty that creates that?
I don't know. He squats about 700 pounds. He's about 215 pounds, nothing but pure muscle. That is it a steer?
Gotta love these kids.
Can't take him down.
Back to him, 2nd and 4. They meet again, and this time Woodard topples him.
Well, you see what he did this time? He went right for that ankle. He didn't try to tackle the shoulder pads. He hit there first, and then he went right to the feet to try to kill the motor.
That's the end of the third quarter.
This dynasty of a program. Superhuman seasons. Ashton Jeanty, it does look like, truly was born to run. Welcome back to the 2024 Mountain West Championship on Fox, sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? This is the single season rushing record that Ashton Jeanty is bearing down on.
Right there.
Yeah. Telestrating accountant Brock Ewart.
168 away from a record that nobody thought would ever be touched.
And if you missed it earlier, Barry Sanders tweeted earlier today, like, to my fans, I know some people might be angry, but enjoy Ashton Jeanty, paraphrasing there. But Barry Sanders respects the work by Jeanty. And this young man, who Spencer Danielson, his head coach, said to us, you can root for Ashton Jeanty. He's what you love about college football.
Yeah, you know what I love?
What's that?
Touchdown run earlier in the whole sidelines. Offense, defense, support staff, coaches. Right? It's one thing to say that, but the actions speak so much louder. They are so happy for him because they love him. And not just the player and the crowd chanting, the person.
They're not chanting play action, but they're going to get some here, and it's right down the middle for Caples and a first down. He creates those lanes.
He does. Just a little subtle movement, and again, compare and contrast off the play action fake here. Compare and contrast the feet of Matson, even with pressure. Step up, poised, step up in that pocket and deliver. And this is the part of it that when you get to the playoff, with that run game and some of Matson's efficiency, especially in the first quarter, the second quarter, here the start of the fourth quarter, that's when you don't just get there, but you do damage.
They've held the ball for 27 minutes.
What are they saying?
Jeanty. Timeout, Boise State. It's only going to get louder with his name in here during the break. The Mountain West Championship on Fox is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. They're so dedicated to Ashton. They're really dedicated. I'm too cold to be a letter. I don't want to be a letter or a number. It's 22 degrees out. All right, time now for Aflac trivia question. Get help with expenses that health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Speaking of Heisman's or whatever they ended up spelling, who was the last Heisman Trophy winner not from Notre Dame or a team currently in a power conference? They're the Brocos.
Where is the N?
He was the 2. He's gone. It's cold, man. First down. Jeanty. He will keep working. Second down coming up. All right, time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Did you get it? Last Heisman Trophy winner not from Notre Dame or a team currently in a power conference. It's a long time ago, Brock. You got it? Answer? I think the answer is hanging out with the N right now, or 2.
Whoa.
Roger Staubach.
That has been a while.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
61 years.
Wow, that is how hard it is when you're climbing and fighting that battle of perception from a non-Power 4 conference.
Boise State has done everything you can to be a dynasty. We were talking about it during the week, and we both mentioned the name Gonzaga, right? And what Gonzaga has become in college basketball. Boise State, really, in the same type of region, has done the same in college football.
I mean, look at that. It's been remarkable. I mean, this is their 8th Mountain West Championship game.
3rd and 6 on the boot for Matson. He'll throw it down the field, and that'll be incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Well, these Rebels defensively are still playing, man. They are still giving great effort. They covered everybody up there. They're searching for a play in their special teams phase. Right, but Barry Odom came out at halftime and said, Allison, we'll figure out here right away you know, what kind of team we're going to be and if we're going to continue to bring it. And defensively, the effort has been tremendous here in the second half.
James Ferguson Reynolds from outside of Melbourne just spins that thing down the field. DeJesus is going to take it anyway and try and make a play, and he'll be down at the 19.
Good job, baby.
We know something about Heismans. We know how to spell Heisman on our set. Look at those guys making friends with all the poster people. Bring your orange hat. The past week's college football playoff rankings have Boise State in a bye spot. The top 4 conference champions get a bye. Boise State currently is the 4th best conference champion. This win won't hurt them. The Big 12 winner will have a win regardless of who takes that game in roughly the top 15. But Boise State, with its resume, the only loss was a 3-point loss to Oregon. By all accounts, the best team in college football. UNLV trying to stay alive here, and Williams just thrown back. He'll get about 2.
Well, you got to finish. I don't think anybody on that sidelines, I don't think any of these coaches up in the booth are even thinking about any of that. They're thinking about the next 12 minutes to not give up explosive plays defensively and make UNLV do something they've not done all night, and that's earn it.
Freshman Greg Burrell is in as the tailback on 2nd and 8. Williams darting to the outside, and he gets upended and drilled by Oladipo. Form tackle to the Stars. Listen in. How's that feel as a quarterback?
On a 20-degree night? Not great.
What about on a 70-degree night?
Not great either.
3rd and 2. Off the mesh, Williams tackled by Hassanin. It's a first down for UNLV. They got to piece something together fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think Boise State will take that. That's about a minute and a half to gain 10 yards. That is exactly defensively what you want to do. For Spencer Danielson, for Shenander upstairs, keep everything in front of you and make them put together a long, sustained drive.
This defense was pretty good against Oregon, but for some special teams breakdowns, that game would have been in the 20s. Williams with pressure and nearly intercepted. Irby had his hands on it, would have been his 2nd. Oh boy, there is a marker in.
I think that's going to be a legal movement motion there on DeJesus. It was coming in motion forward. But these corners hit
illegal motion.
Salty.
Offense, number 21. 5-yard penalty. Mays first down.
I mean, guess what? Williams not only takes a hit when he runs it, we've shown multiple times. This front 4, man, remember, 2 all-conference performers on the edge. And Feely right there, 2nd team all-conference. So we're talking about 3 of your 4 D linemen starters totally clean right through the sternum and chest. Penalty declined. But you got all-conference, 2nd team all-conference, and they are imposing their will on their home turf.
Big Herb Gums right next door, who's been one of the creators of some of the uneven play for offensive lines against Boise State. 2nd down. Williams felt the pressure, he'll run. And he's got the first down around the corner, got a block from White on the outside, and it takes Benefield to push him to the paint. Nice run.
Well, I think you're going to see more of this here in the final 10 minutes. Just empty it out. Just take bodies out of there, right? And keep it as simple as possible. A good job of stepping up in the pocket. And this is what he does. 600-yard rushing games this season. I mean, or 4, he's able to do this. Over 100 in the first matchup. So I bet, yep, here you go again. Just spread those bodies out. Give him lanes and space so he can operate.
Short set and a throw, and he does have the tight end. That's Belingai across the 35. Touchdown in 3 straight games for Guy coming in, but they could not find him in that red zone possession. UNLV, one of the best seasons in school history, 10 wins. Fading college football playoff hopes. Williams, no, incomplete. Hassanin had come through. He was getting to the quarterback, and Williams had to release. It's 3rd and 4.
Hassanin leads this team with 51 pressures right here. Born in Egypt. This is a cool team, man. Genti played in Italy. He played in Egypt. You got the Bahamas. You got Australia. You got United Nations doing their job.
His brother was a coach stateside, made a trip, realized that Ahmed Hassanin wanted to play football in the States, brought him over to live with him, and turned out a great college football player. This run is across the 30 for Burrell on a 1st down, but time is sweeping away from UNLV. We're going to say he's a little bit short, actually. It looked like he crashed forward. They're going to say it's 4th and 1. Wow. They're going to have to look at this.
Yes.
I thought he was over by half a yard.
Well, he just got swallowed up in a massive a rugby pile of like 9 humans. But I do think that pile fell forward before any body part. Good job by the replay crew next to us.
They've done a great job tonight. Watch here. Yeah, it's a 1st down. I mean, I know Dean Blandino's with us.
Where was he?
He was over the yard line. Dean, what do you see here?
So we're looking again for that body part. This feels like a 1st down. You can see he lands, entire upper body is beyond that 30-yard line. It's difficult to find in that massive bodies. Does a knee hit? Does an upper leg hit? Again, they're going to have to see something clear and obvious. I feel like this is a 1st down. It just felt like it as we're watching the play.
Thank you, Dean. Yeah, that, as we watch it again, the pile falls forward. That's typically what the officials spotted with.
But you know the rule.
I know.
The difference between what I feel versus what I actually see.
You're saying my feelings don't matter and Dean's feelings don't matter.
I'm seeing Tiger Shank swallowing up Feely, creating a massive chaos.
After review, the call on the field stands. 4th down.
Don't assume, Jason. You know what happens.
Yeah, but if you're a UNLV fan at home, you're saying, I don't know what I'm looking at.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, but we saw one the other way, too.
Yep.
And it's just why that initial call on the field really does matter in some of these occasions. A lot of these occasions.
4th and 1.
Oh, they got big boy in. Sammy Norris, all 290 pounds of him at fullback.
Right up the middle, that's a 1st down, and then some. Burrell will take the touchdown. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and that big fullback came across the formation and sets a block. And for one of the rare occasions tonight, those defenders on the back end, they miss. Run right through Benefield, run right through Robinson. That's a true freshman now. And they are excited about him. Excited about the signing class they just had. Excited about their freshman class. And big boy right there getting the love he deserves for throwing that big old frame right in front of him. Championship weekend's different, man. Games aren't finished after the first 45 minutes. Barry Odom knows it. Hang in there, hang in there, hang in there.
There is an injured Boise State player in the back of the end zone. It is McCoy. That would be a big loss, especially with UNLV throwing it all over the ballpark on the final couple of drives here.
He has been so good. Looks like he's kind of drinking water, stretching it out. It's amazing, even on nights this cold. You think cramps? On nights this cold? No way, impossible, no. Possible, and you got to stay hydrated.
Extra point is good for Chittenden. This is a 2-score game with about 9 minutes to go. You never know in college football. With everything on the line, UNLV staying the course, trying to complete this comeback.
Brave.
Ain't too many picks.
This holiday season, help Fox Sports give the gift of play to kids in need. Visit goodsports.org/Fox Sports or scan that QR code to handpick equipment from your favorite sport to donate today. A lot of kiddos enjoying the game here tonight. In Boise, 9 plays, 81 yards, 3.5 minutes off the clock. UNLV is in this.
Yes.
Winner very likely goes to the college football playoff. If it's Boise State, they should have a bye. And then Henry on the fair catch. But the offense has sort of gotten caught up in the mud here in the second half.
Gotten away with a couple errant throws. We've seen some nice runs from Genty, but have not seen the explosive run yet here in the second half. And you got a UNLV defense that you know right now has got to be infused with some confidence. They've continued to win in many of their battles at the line of scrimmage. Got to go finish.
This is very likely to be the 7th game in the last 8 where Genty goes over 30 carries. He won't touch it here. Instead, they'll go to the tight end Lauder, who fights to about the 30 with Catalan.
Remember the last time these two teams matched up, it was at about this point that Boise played keep away for the whole rest of the day.
14 plays, 8:07 off the clock to say farewell.
Yep.
Vegas.
Barry Odom knows it. They stay on details. They stay ahead of the chains. You've got to try to create a penalty, create a negative play. They stay on schedule. They typically stay on the field.
A throw again. Matson this way, and he's got it to Camper. So now 3rd down and about a yard. Tackle for Jarvis Ware. Senior corner, and a little conversation. All right, 3rd and 1. Brock, you're a highly paid analyst. What play call do you like here?
I think you got about 35 different run options to Mr. Genty. And just do not allow early penetration.
Oh boy, that might have been a broken play. Instead, it's incomplete. It was nearly a one-hand catch for Lauder. Yep. Is that a bust?
No, that's a quick play action pass. They're going to use Genty. Look at all the bodies up there. Everybody's coming, trying to throw right to the flat. But the relentlessness of Woodard getting in his face, and then Lauder is oh so close. That was going to be a big play. There was nobody around him if he could have found a way on a cold night to corral it. Instead, UNLV has not just got life, they've got a lot of life.
Ferguson Reynolds on the rollout. He gets it away. I have a question for you after this promo, okay? Tomorrow on Fox, 4-story programs tip off the inaugural Shark Beauty Women's Champions Classic. First, Tennessee at number 17, Iowa, then Paige Beckers. Number 2, UConn against number 22, Louisville. It all begins tomorrow, 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. How can you go 3 downs without giving the ball to Ashton Genty in a situation like that?
Well, you're trying to use him still. Jason doesn't get the touches, but he's influence. Sure created a bunch of one-on-ones. And in that case, one on nobody, you just could not make the connection. But I hear you.
First down for UNLV with some life here from the 21. De Jesus in the orbit motion. Williams steps up, snaps it off down the field. A little too much for Thompson. 2nd down. It was there.
It was there. Good little window dressing, some of that action pre-snap, and you're going to see the speed here. Thompson gets behind the defense. It would have taken a perfect throw, but he is behind everybody on the field, which again, if you're Boise State, is the last thing you want to see.
Fake it to Burrell. Williams down the center, and that's caught, secured by Bradley, who had the long touchdown in the first meeting. It's first down UNLV.
Sometimes playing with this sense of desperation, Jason, and knowing an urgency can free you up.
Really?
We've seen Williams in some of the feet earlier here, right? Just kind of getting disheveled, kind of getting beaten up. But now there is so much urgency. You go from thinking mode to reacting mode.
Here comes Hassanin. Time taken away, and down he goes. Sheldon Newton with the sack for Boise State. Number 4 tonight.
Nice job of getting right back to the line of scrimmage. Yes, a sack, but not a catastrophic one. In good tempo here. They need it from the Rebs.
Williams to the outside, got it to White, who's been quiet in the second half, and he just tornadoes his way to the 39, third down.
I'm in 4-down territory, right?
Gotta be.
And you've got to think that way as a quarterback as well. Never turn down a completion.
Low snap. Williams gets to the fringe, tucks it, and he's going to be very close to the line to gain, and they will move the sticks this time.
And that's just all speed right here, right off the edge. Right, you've got to try to keep containing. Nice job of catching the low snap, and you can see Simpson just gets tangled up just a little bit there with his feet. He gives up the edge, and Williams takes it.
We suddenly have a game here.
Yeah, and I think there's some fan bases around the country that are cheering really hard for UNLV.
Burrell staggers to the line, and he goes down. Callahan went low. It's second down and 10. UNLV's run for only 4 fewer yards than Boise State in this game. They've had 11 100-yard rushing performances this year. Second down and 10. This is a throw for Williams. And a sliding grab by Bradley. What hands.
Whew. Yeah, that was about the only spot you could have thrown that. He's going to throw it a little behind because the linebacker's in the lane, and on a cold night, first catch of the night is textbook with those hands.
8th play of the drive, under 5 minutes to go. They've ridden Burrell, and that's a first down and more. What a tough run into Washington. Genty's roommate makes the stop.
Well, this is Oladipo that is going to come up kind of like Benefield did on the previous drive and just swing and miss. I mean, this young freshman is making these Bronco defenders look like what Genty makes every defense look like. What a stud.
He's a Las Vegas native. Desert Pines High School, first down, UNLV. Williams stopping and getting drilled by Notriani right into his arms.
Oh boy. Yeah, when you run this sprint protection, you've just got to keep going. Geno Smith kind of learned this lesson last week in the game as well. Like everybody's expecting you to get outside of all of that. You cut back, you cut right into trouble, including the first team all-conference middle linebacker.
That's a timeout UNLV. You're probably going to want the allotment of 3 timeouts to get the ball back, possibly, especially knowing that Boise State has this dynamic run game to bleed the clock.
Yeah, the only thing I can think there is that is a feel thing that the guys are gassed.
Yep.
That Williams is gassed. He has been running and running and running. And you do now, remember, have that 2-minute timeout in college football. But you got to make that timeout pay dividends. And like now.
Can't spell now without an N, though. 2nd and 15.
Is he still out?
Yeah, he's gone.
Soft.
And we have a whistle. Timeout, Boise State.
Prior to the snap, Boise State will take their second charge time of the half.
With that, we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Surprised it's not ice down there with the weather. Boise State ran out to a big lead on this beautiful pass.
Yeah, I mean, Boise State played as good a first half as they have played all season long. I mean, in every phase of it, clean and special teams. Did it through the air. Mad Dog right there, the big touchdown run. Genty got loose. It's 21-0, and everybody in the building is feeling like, yeah, here we go. Let's get to that playoff. And then all of a sudden UNLV, and especially their defense, Jason, that third quarter rose to the occasion, and gave this offense enough time, enough possessions to finally put themselves on the board and now put themselves once again in Boise territory.
Think about if they could have paid off that long run for a touchdown. This would be a one-score game. 2nd and 15, Williams stays up for a moment, steps out of the tackle, and Williams keeps on going. Hassanin had him, he knew it, and he just couldn't finish.
That is the first 4 letters of that man's name. That was all Will. I mean, that is a 275-pound all-conference DN barreling down on you. Tackle for long. You're looking at 3rd and 20.
Yeah.
And instead, his will, his want to, his strength fights right through that tackle and 2 more to keep UNLV alive. Big time.
Now Hassanin is down. Devon Banks is down. The corner as well. Hassanin just plunged down to the ground at the end of the play. Banks is in serious pain too.
I think Banks, unfortunately, lower leg gets caught up underneath Williams. I think for Hassanin, he just emptied the tank in every way and flies to the ground. You can see Banks there. Yeah, Williams just goes right into that leg. And remember, we already saw McCoy come off the field with what looked like cramps. I'll say this about Haj Malik Williams. It has not been pretty. Yeah, I think for Hassanin, I think the tank was emptied in every way as he's flying down the field. But I think you see, and that's too bad for the Husky transfer, University of Washington transfer Banks.
But for Boise State, Brock, with how much dime defense they play, 6 defensive backs, losing a couple of defensive backs over the course of this game is not ideal. Allison.
Yeah, McCoy is over here on the sideline. They've been working on cramps in both of his legs, getting him a ton of fluids, salt, and other liquids to try and help him get back out there.
Well, that's great to see Banks able to walk off. That looked really bad. And seriously, how about Williams? As rough a night as you can have for 3 quarters being shut out, and then just saying, hey man, I'm not walking out of this building without giving everything I got.
1 year at the U.S. Military Preparatory Academy, 5 years in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina at Campbell. He wants to play football. He wants to win a title. He's got under 4 minutes to do it. 3rd down and 7 for him. Long mesh point, and he kept it. Williams is off. What a decision. Boy, you have to be so good with your hands to make that go, Brock.
Yeah, and once again, some motion, some just missed assignments there. You see a couple Broncos running. You see flat-footed there from Benefield, and Williams makes them pay.
Ooh, again, a penalty. It was a delay in the red zone last time. Now a false start.
False start. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
When the official says everyone but the center, like he's said it too many times already tonight, that's a problem.
Yeah. In an area of the field for Barry Odom, that's been about the only problem for the Rebels all season long.
So McCoy back in. Huge for Boise State. Allison reporting that they were working on him, trying to get fluids into him. He's back, 1st and goal. Clock is moving. Oh, man. Feely burst through the door on Burrell.
He sure did, and the Rebels are going to come right back to the line, but it is right here, right in the middle, a quick swim move over the guard Boyd, and he hits Burrell right in the face. This is taking a lot of time.
Remember, they used a timeout. They only have 2 left. Wow. Williams sees the pressure again. He got by Oladipo. Virgin Morgan's got him, and he'll sling him out of bounds. The 11th tackle for loss tonight for Boise State.
Oh, just find a way to throw it out of bounds, right? And you love the effort, and once again, breaking contain. Boise is not slowing down. They are throwing bodies at him. Oladipo looking for his 3rd sack. He can't get there. He's trying to throw it away, but that's again a negative play in the 3rd and forever.
It was 1st and goal from the 8. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 21. They're gonna snap it.
Tick, 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 tick.
Williams this way. It's a low ball and incomplete. White couldn't bring it in. 4th and goal, and really the season on the line for UNLV. That penalty again.
But you get to this point of the season, Jason, there's a reason you're 119th in the country scoring touchdowns down there. And on a championship weekend, and Barry Odom knows it, you just can't do it.
One of the toughest places to play in college football. Blue surrounding the Rebels. On 4th and goal. Pressure from the secondary. Williams incomplete. Robinson sped him up. Irby with the coverage. Bronco football.
Well, I'll say this about Mr. Shenander upstairs and his mom Ann watching in Iowa somewhere. Your son continues to step on the aggressive meter. He was not going to play soft. He was going to force the hand. A terrific job of Williams to step up in the pocket. White's looking for some early contact. I think the throw is so high, so hot, and so far behind. He's not going to get that call. Wow. 10 QB hits, 16 hurries, 5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. The Broncos were ferocious.
Genty. Looks like they'll use the timeout before the 2-minute stoppage. So 1 left for UNLV.
UNLV will take their 2nd charge, timeout of the half.
Look at Irby and this defense.
Yeah, Irby and McCoy. Two pretty good corners. 2 pretty good ends. A dime defense that flies around the field, I think ran out of a little bit of gas as the Rebels did not go away.
Their head coach in his mid-30s.
He knew that this was not going to be 21-0, more and more and more. He knew it'd be a 4-quarter game and a scrap and a fight as they look at Hassanin.
Hassanin's got a cut man in the corner. This is round 9 of a long football season now, and Boise State hopes this season stretches another month, and the smoke is just
steam, the juice, the energy these guys play with. And you're right, working on that lip.
Boise State by 14 by CompuBox. Short toss, Genty, look out to the edge for one of the first times here in the 2nd half. First down, Boise State. The Broncos and their Heisman contender can feel the college football playoff.
Wow.
The Mountain West Championship on Fox is sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? And by Allstate. You're in good hands. Ashton Genty is 4 yards short of 200. And 150 and change away from the Mountain West Championship, which would send Boise State into the college football playoff. and dancing into a very, very likely bye. Right now, they are the 4 seed, and with a win like this against a top 20 team, that shouldn't change.
Correct.
UNLV has 1 timeout remaining. Genty, from a standing position, just drives the legs, powers his way through, and sets up a second down. He's at exactly 200 yards on exactly 30 carries.
And 139 from Barry Sanders.
He's going to have another game, it looks like.
Yep.
Dad Harry, Mom Pamela, hunkered down, enjoying it. If you didn't hear Allison's report, just awesome. Dad in the Navy, went to Italy, family goes over there. Ashton Genty has to wait to play football, and all Dad hears about at the base is how good his son is when he finally gets a chance to play. It comes here to the United States once again because they knew Ashton wanted to play football. He ends up being a slot back in high school at first because they have a running back. So again, he kind of has to bide his time. He got better in Europe before he was able to play. He was too young to play at first, and all of that work and that work ethic has led to just a mind-numbingly talented, driven young man.
And he stayed.
You're right.
He could have gone a lot of places, and they came knocking, and he wanted nothing but this. And it's taking a little toll. He's taking a little beating here at the end. He's going to have a couple weeks to even get more right. And I just don't know how you don't love this young man. Looking at Tim Brando, I know that he and Devin were here a week ago. Anybody that has covered this guy over the course of the season, you just fall in love with the talent. But honestly, like even more, how much this community, his coaches, his teammates love him as a person.
It's because he invests in all of the other players. I mean, it's a well-told story. Spencer Danielson says if he sees a guy that's down in a certain week, hey, let's lean into him. Let's get more out of him. But to the Heisman conversation.
Yeah, and I said it earlier. If you already voted and you're a Heisman voter, just send your ballot in. Don't vote ever. Just don't vote ever again. Like I don't think it just makes no sense to me. Get every data point for all of these guys for Dylan tomorrow. Get every data point you can. To me, and I was talking to Chris Peterson at halftime about this. I said, man, if coaches voted, if only coaches voted, Ashton Genty would win the Heisman.
You think so?
I really fully believe that. Why? Because they know. Travis Hunter is the most spectacular, most dynamic player, but the best player who's elevated his team to a championship and a playoff and a bye is that guy. And I love Travis Hunter.
Another short toss. You're not going to stop him. That should do it in the arms of Ashton Genty. Let him eat, and they did. It doesn't feel like it's 22 degrees to anybody here in blue.
They wanted so badly, Jason, for so many years to have their chance to sit at the big boy table. The BCS, only 2 teams. The 14 playoff, really hard for group of 5. 12 team, they get a seat at the table.
And look out. Just in case you didn't think he was athletic enough. A gold in the floor exercise at the end of the game. Boise State, Mountain West champions, and on the way to the college football playoff. Ashton Genty with Allison Williams. Allison.
Ashton, congratulations. They do what he says here. You gave him a lot to cheer for, though, tonight. Congratulations. A Mountain West championship What does it mean to you to win this title in your last game here on the Blues?
First of all, I got to thank God. The way he's been moving through this team and, blessing us. God's favor is over us. But this means everything. This is everything we work for. And to come out here and accomplish it, you got to give credit to the team. Offense, defense, special teams coming together tonight.
You rushed for over 200 yards again, and you still had the energy for a backflip. How are you able to deliver week in and week out?
It's training. It's the training. It's the work we put in. We don't run from work here. I'm a dog, and I put that on display every week.
You certainly did. How does it sound to go with this team to the college football playoff?
It's amazing. It's a dream come true. I love this team. I love the way we came together. The connection and the love we have is stronger than anything.
Ashton, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Notably, he's not going to stop him from saying Heisman. And also notably, UNLV
emptied the tank.
Yeah, they did. And they had a great season, but this is an absolute scene here. And that's a very humble young man. But he knows how much he puts in. And so to say what he said is just the belief this entire team has in itself.
It's this community pretty well. Honestly, I do feel, it's funny, Jason, you get in these moments and you see this stuff, and covering Boise for so many years, a couple decades of watching them, and watch what so many before them built. And they're all sitting in their homes across the country, those former coaches and former players that are so thrilled. And to have him be the spokesperson, to have him as a human being be the guy that represents your brand and your school, you are so proud. And you should be.
It's a beautiful thing when you know you have a teammate that lifts everybody up. (21-7) the final score. Boise State over UNLV. And the Broncos led by their conductor in blue, number 2.
His stage.
Oh, yeah. Will spring into the college football playoff.
And keep on wishing.
The Boise State Broncos, your 2024 Mountain West champions, back with more post-game coverage, including the trophy ceremony right after these messages.
Ashton Jeanty and Boise State earned their 36th all-time conference championships and 6th in the Mountain West, and more importantly, the Broncos are off to the college football playoffs for the first time ever. Nailed it. 21-7, your finals. We welcome you back to Boise, Idaho. You see behind us the field has been stormed. The Barkeeper fan club right here behind us here.
Jeanty fan club is what they are tonight. Jeanty fan club. That's what it is, baby. That's Jeanty fan club.
We are getting set for the Mountain West Championship trophy presentation. Glad you're back here with us. You see it getting assembled right now. Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, Mark Ingram, Matt Leinart, and the coach, Urban Meyer. Mark, you and I were talking back in the green room a couple minutes ago. You and I both have Heisman votes. Are you thinking about maybe changing yours a little bit?
When you talk about the best player in the country who has helped his team win a conference championship and have a first-round bye in the college football playoff, it is Ashton Jeanty. So he is worthy of this award. I said respect his body of work. I said respect his play. This is going to come down to a personal preference. Do you want to bless the best player in college football, the best two-way player in college football, or do you want to listen to these people out here?
They're chanting it behind us. They're turning it up.
JT, what you got to say, Brady?
I think one of the difficult decisions is the fact that when Charles Woodson won it, and he played a little bit both ways, they went on to win a national championship that year. Colorado allows to be playing in a bowl game, but that's the extent of it. This still keeps going on, Matt, for Ashton Jeanty and this Boise State team in the quest to win a national championship.
Just the impact that he had on this team. You take him off this football team, how many wins do they have? And this isn't even a disrespect to Travis Hunter. He's a great football player, and your preference, right, and what he's done, we haven't seen done before. But Ashton Jeanty, I think we've seen running backs have great seasons. You had a great season. But he just led Boise State to a first-round bye in the college football playoff, Coach.
Say it again, Matt.
I'm just saying it again. He just led Boise State to a first-round bye in the college football playoff.
When do you have to turn it in? Because I'm telling you, that team took Oregon to the wire, the #1 team in the country. If they draw well, they could get a bye and win the next game.
It's this upcoming week.
Boise State.
The votes have to be in by this upcoming week.
I think it's just I hope people appreciate what they saw in him tonight and what he's been able to do for this team this season.
The fact of the matter is he's had 6 200-yard rushing games, 2,488 yards, 30 total touchdowns. Without Ashton Jeanty, Boise State is not in this position right now. So you have to respect this man. He is worthy of this award. His body of work, his respect. Congrats to Ashton.
Second straight 200-yard rushing game, Ashton Jeanty, and the rest of the Broncos set to get their hands on the Mountain West Conference Championship hardware. We send it over to Allison Williams.
Thank you so much, Rob. What a scene. The blue turf has turned into a sea of blue and orange fans who are ready to celebrate this Mountain West Championship, winning it on the blue for the first time since 2019. An incredible scene following a terrific football game. Congratulations to UNLV on a great season and performance here tonight, but it's time to hand out some hardware now, and it was certainly hard-earned. Here to hand out the Craig Thompson Mountain West Championship Trophy is the Commissioner of the Mountain West, Gloria Navarez.
Just want to say congratulations to the 2024 Old Trapper Mountain West football champions.
Spencer Danielson, your head coach, come over here and claim your prize. Coach D, congratulations on a heck of a season and a heck of a game here in the Mountain West Championship, winning it in back-to-back years. How did your team get this done?
Well, first off, I mean, thank you, Jesus. And I mean, Jesus deserves all the glory. I mean, we serve a champion. He died on the cross, but he rose again 3 days later. That's the God I serve, man. Anything's possible. And our players, they don't run from hard work. They just keep swinging, keep swinging, keep swinging. That's uncommon. They deserve the credit. Jesus deserves the credit. We got the best staff in the nation, and we got the best fan base in the nation, too. Bronco Nation, undefeated.
I see the emotion in just looking at Ashton lift that trophy, and you know what it means. You are going to the college football playoff. What does it mean to this team, to this program, to compete at the highest level for the highest prize?
Yeah, they made their minds up. Last offseason, our best players, starting with Ashton, said, I'm staying here. I want to be a part of something different. Team that loves each other. We don't want to fit in the mold that college football says you have to fit into. And they said, we're going to go do this. And they just kept chipping away one day at a time. And when you do that, you don't look too far ahead or too far behind. Everything's available for you. And they didn't run from hard work. That's this team.
Spencer, congratulations.
Thank you. God bless you. Let's roll.
There's some more trophies on this stage, though. And in no surprise to anyone, the offensive player of the game, Bronco Nation, is your running back, your beloved running back, Ashton Jeanty. Again, another 200-plus yard performance for you. I want you to look around. Take this in. They chanted your name all night. It's turned to the Heisman chant now. What does this mean to you?
Man, all glory to God, man. We wouldn't be here without him. I'm so thankful and so grateful for this opportunity. I love this team. It's a family, it's a tight-knit unit, and I'm so glad we're able to get this done.
You win this trophy, but there's a bigger trophy potentially in your future. What would it mean to you to go to New York as a Heisman Trophy finalist?
It would mean everything, I think, not only for me, but for this program, for this community, you know, everybody who has an underdog story, just to see my story and how I prevailed, you know, through all the obstacles.
This team has prevailed all season and again here tonight, and because of that, you'll get an opportunity to play in the college football playoff. What does that mean to you to take Bronco Nation to the playoff?
Yeah, you know, we just took it 1 week at a time. We've been playing for a spot in the playoffs since week 1. And, you know, we came in here and we got the job done. And it's amazing to make history.
Ashton, thank you so much. It's been amazing to watch you make history. Our defensive MVP tonight, Shea Oladipo. Shea, congratulations. You stand up here once again as Mountain West champs. Describe for me how your defense stepped up in the second half of this game tonight.
Honestly, we're just a team that loves each other. It's not a defense it's not just a defense, it's the offense. We're a team. We're truly a family that loves each other. We'll never give up on each other. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's giving God all the glory.
You didn't give up on a big play, tracking down James to prevent them from scoring. What is required of this team and the effort that is demanded each and every week?
If there's one thing about this team, we're going to play hard. We believe we're going to be the hardest playing team on the field at all times, and that's the standard to play on the blue. So we thank God, but honestly, Coach D elevated the standard. We're going to continue to elevate it every day.
Shea, congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations to the back-to-back Mountain West champions, the Boise State Broncos. Rob, back to you.
Allison, thank you. Boise State now in line for the number 4 seed, or maybe better when the final playoff rankings come out on Sunday. We'll tell you who the national champion will be next. '11th straight win and 12th straight here on the blue turf for Boise State. Ashton Jeanty and the Broncos are your Mountain West champs for the 6th time, and they are off to their first ever college football playoff. Another historic night for Ashton Jeanty, 32 carries, 209 yards, and a touchdown. Man. And here's where he stands so far this season. Wow. 4th most rushing yards by one player in one FBS season, and he's got at least one more game to go. As we welcome you back to Boise, the blue field covered with fans, covered in blue, and a lot of them have assembled right here behind us. So this game here kind of wrapped up the start of championship week for us. And a quick recap, we're going to take you out to West Point for the AAC championship game between number 24 Army and Tulane. Army, a home underdog. Not a good idea, Vegas. Not a good idea. Bryson Daly makes it 7-0. Daly with another one here to make it 14-0 in the second quarter.
All grit, all determination. A lot of highlights of Daly, but the Army defense, too, stood up to Tulane. Really didn't give him much until late in this one.
That was Daly's 28th touchdown of the season, made it 21-0. How about one more time from Daly? Army wins it 35-14. They got Army next week. Army-Navy, baby, in our nation's capital, too. Western Kentucky taking on Jacksonville State, Conference USA Championship. Rich Rod, he's done wonders in Jacksonville State. You also wonder just how much longer he'll be there. Trey Stewart, touchdown run. Rich Rod gets the Gatorade bat. Gamecocks win it, and they get the Conference USA title. Uh-oh. They're trying to take that. We saw somebody doing the pull-ups on it before, and I like that, kind of getting the Presidential Fitness Award, but this is, hang in there.
It's only a matter of time.
Hang in there.
It's on the way. It's on the way.
Right, no. So we're going to keep our eye on that far goalpost, but Sunday, the final rankings come out. Monday of MLK weekend, the championship game played in Atlanta. Who will be raising the trophy that night? Matthew, guys, has been on the Oregon bandwagon.
Yes.
Number 1. You still riding with the Ducks, my friend.
They were my preseason pick. They haven't let me down all year, so they're my pick to win the national championship. And I kind of laid out a few things you need. You need an experienced quarterback. They certainly have that speed and skill and playmakers on the outside, and then balance. I think they're the most balanced team. They can hit you with the running game. They obviously have the talented wide receivers. And then defensively, coach, this defense and the defensive line has been dominant. They win ugly games. They win blowout games. That's my team.
And they got better and better as year went on. I'm going to pick the fastest team in college football, Oregon.
Oh, wow.
My friend and Nike, my good friend and Nike founder, Phil Knight, is going to be part of that thing and get himself a big trophy.
We're giving
Phil Knight love up here.
All right,
we're talking about Dylan Gabriel and Dan Lanning. What about Phil Knight? Who you going with?
How y'all feeling? What do you got? No, I've been thinking about this. I think this is the most even thing. I think this is the most even playoff. Anybody can win on any given day.
It's a good point.
But why not the dang time?
No. Oh, God.
Why not the time?
Maybe they know if they're going to be in.
They going to be in, and they going to be hell.
Oh, God.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the time. Roll time.
By the way.
So, what? No, I started off the season with Ohio State. I think after last week, I've come off of that.
There's no way. There's no way you're going to do it.
Georgia,
He's doing it.
Georgia's a team that I've been pushing for the whole year.
Buddy.
I don't feel confident in that. It's Notre Dame.
No.
It's a team that's won 10 straight. 9 of the last 10, they've won by double digits. They got the best scoring margin.
Oh,
of
you don't believe it.
Defense.
You do not believe
yes,
it.
Yes, I do.
No,
Jeremiah Love,
he doesn't believe
Jadarian
it.
Price, Riley Leonard. It's a rushing attack. You got to go through South Bend.
No.
I'm not the ultimate homer. You got to go through South Bend.
You do not believe that in your heart of hearts.
Homer.
They're going to win a national championship.
We're doing it.
Hey, what about the Boise State Broncos? Who says they're not going to win it all? I'm jumping on the Bronco bandwagon. Next up for Boise State, it should be a quarterfinal playoff game on either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Congrats to the 10th-ranked Broncos to win the Mountain West Conference, and they are off to their first ever college football playoff, and they're taking one of the game's elite players with them, that man, Ashton Jeanty, who once again went over 200 yards. The Broncos win it, and they are off to the playoffs.
Let me be it. I'm from the South, never had a handout before I let my people starve. I take it out your mouth. Don't quick to switch up. I'm from the Lone Star, I don't need to click up. It ain't directed, so it ain't respected. Stop dropping clues, cause
Start your day with a bang.
Let's have a party.
As FS1's brand new lineup
We're gonna change up the vibe.
brings you everything you need.
Have some fun, old guy.
To level up your game.
Undeniably, my favorite
I'm not surprised.
Every weekday on FS1.
We are Baltimore.